My mother-in-law, let's call her Karen, has this annoying habit of constantly bringing up my husband's ex-girlfriend whenever we have a conversation. Let's call this ex-girlfriend Sarah, not real name. It's like she can't resist mentioning her and comparing me to her at every opportunity. It drives me crazy, and I can tell that even my husband doesn't appreciate it. But for some reason, whenever he's not around, Karen feels the need to unleash this barrage of praise for his ex, listing all her supposed qualities and accomplishments. It started even before we got married, and I naively thought that once we tied the knot, she would let go of the past and focus on our relationship. Little did I know that her obsession with the ex would only intensify over time. I tried to brush it off initially, thinking maybe it was just an innocent way for Karen to reminisce or make conversation. But as time went on, it became apparent that there was something more to it. It's almost as if she's trying to undermine my confidence or make me doubt my worthiness as my husband's partner. Every family gathering or casual dinner turns into a subtle competition in Karen's eyes. She'll drop comments like, "Oh, remember when John's ex used to cook such delicious meals?" Or, "Sarah was so good at organizing family events. She had such great ideas." It's not like she brings it up in front of other people or during family gatherings where others can hear. No, she waits until we're alone as if relishing the opportunity to discuss the ex without any witnesses. She'll drop remarks like, "Oh, Sarah used to be so good with kids. She would have made an amazing mother." Or, "I remember when John and Sarah used to go on those romantic trips. They were the perfect couple." It's like she's trying to paint this picture of the perfect woman who I'm supposed to live up to, as if my mere presence isn't enough. At first, I tried to confront Karen about it, asking her politely to refrain from mentioning the ex-girlfriend all the time. I thought maybe she wasn't aware of how uncomfortable it made me feel. But instead of understanding my perspective, she brushed it off, saying things like, "Oh, don't be so sensitive. I'm just reminiscing." Or, "You should learn from her. She was such an amazing person." It became clear to me that Karen's actions were deliberate. She was intentionally trying to make me feel insecure and create tension in our relationship. It felt like she couldn't accept the fact that her son had moved on and found happiness with me. Instead, she seemed stuck in the past, idealizing the ex-girlfriend and refusing to acknowledge the present reality. As frustrating as it was, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I discussed it with my husband, explaining how much it bothered me and the impact it was having on our relationship. Thankfully, he was very understanding and supportive. He admitted that he had also been bothered by his mother's behavior and assured me that he would talk to her about it. The next family gathering arrived, and I could sense a different atmosphere. My husband had a serious conversation with his mother, expressing his disappointment in her constant comparisons and reminding her of the importance of accepting our relationship. He made it clear that he loved me for who I am, and that constantly bringing up his ex-girlfriend was hurtful to both of us. To my surprise, Karen seemed genuinely remorseful. She apologized and promised to make an effort to change her behavior. It was a small victory, but it meant a lot to me. From that day forward, Karen stopped mentioning the ex-girlfriend and focused on building a better relationship with me. So I thought that the issue was over. The war was won. But little did I know that a battle was approaching. The breaking point came when I gave birth to our baby girl. It was supposed to be a joyous time, a moment to celebrate the new addition to our family. Yet Karen managed to turn it into a source of tension and confusion. She approached me with a suggestion that left me dumbfounded and angry. She suggested that we name our baby girl after my husband's ex-girlfriend, Sarah. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. How could she even suggest such a thing? Naming our child after my husband's ex was not only disrespectful to me, but also an insult to the special bond my husband and I shared as parents. It felt like Karen was trying to erase my presence and replace it with the shadow of the ex. At that moment, I couldn't contain my emotions any longer. I confronted her, expressing my hurt and frustration. I asked her why she couldn't accept our relationship and why she felt the need to constantly bring up the ex. She tried to defend herself, saying it was just a suggestion and that she thought it would be a nice gesture. But her words fell on deaf ears. I made it clear to Karen that I would not tolerate her disrespect any longer. I demanded that she stop comparing me to the ex and that she acknowledge and respect our relationship. Guess what she did? Karen literally went and told every family member that I disrespected her and didn't let her suggest any baby names. I realized that it was partly my fault for not opening up to other family members about her behavior. Keeping it all bottled up had given Karen the confidence to manipulate the situation and tarnish my reputation. While feeling hurt and betrayed, I knew that I had to take a stand. I couldn't let Karen's false narrative go unchallenged. With the support of my husband, we decided it was time to reveal the truth to everyone. We carefully and truthfully explained the situation to our family members, detailing the constant comparisons and undermining remarks Karen had made towards me. We emphasized that our intention was never to disrespect her, but to address the hurtful behavior that was impacting our relationship. Thankfully, my husband stood by my side and validated my experiences. His constant support played a crucial role in convincing our family members that I was speaking the truth. They began to see through Karen's manipulative tactics and understand the toll her actions had taken on me. As the truth unfolded, the dynamics within the family shifted dramatically. No longer blinded by Karen's false narrative, family members started to distance themselves from her. They realized the toxicity of her actions and no one wanted to talk to her. So Karen tried to explain herself, saying she just wanted to honor Sarah because she was such a nice girl. But seriously, why did she have to make me feel like crap in the process? I called her out on it, asking why she had to compare us and make me feel inferior. But typical Karen, she couldn't handle being called out. She went all defensive and started throwing accusations at me. It was like she didn't even get how much she hurt me or how messed up her actions were. So I dropped the bomb on her. It's over, Karen. Your own son doesn't want anything to do with you anymore. She never thought her actions would have consequences or that her son would take my side. It was a wake-up call for her, a moment when she realized just how much damage she had caused. Update 1. It's been an entire week since anyone spoke to her. Everyone in the family is very strict when it comes to such decisions. They are not like people who will randomly make a decision. No, they think about it. Desperate for support, Karen turned to the rest of the family, hoping someone would take her side. But guess what? No one cared. They had seen through her manipulative ways and witnessed the pain she caused me. They were done with her toxic behavior and wouldn't stand for it anymore. Everyone, including my husband and I'm tired of this. I want to focus on my new baby, take care of her, and not do this. This is frustrating. Update 2. You won't believe what happened. Unable to accept that no one wanted to do anything with her, she involved the real Sarah. But the tables turned. Turns out this woman, Sarah, is actually a sweetheart and was equally disturbed by Karen throughout her time with my husband. Mother-in-law thought that Sarah will support her, but she is so conceited that she forgot how she put Sarah through the same thing by bringing up Monica, my husband's first girlfriend, when he was in school. I had no idea about my mother-in-law going to Sarah, but she did, and it infuriated Sarah so much that she contacted me and my husband and spilled all the beans about how she faced the same thing, and that played a huge role in their breakup. She congratulated me on my baby, and we spoke for some time. She sounded like a nice and mature woman. And my dear Karen was shocked to see us bonding. She's trying everything possible to cause problems in my life, but no matter what, we won't give her the attention that she desires. That's what she craves. She has tried to talk to her son, mostly out of everyone, saying emotional things so that he forgives her. But she has been emotionally blackmailing him for almost his entire life. So my husband is quite immune to that. LOL. Update 3. Life has been a whirlwind since the arrival of my baby girl, whom I decided to name Hope. She truly embodies the meaning of her name, bringing light and positivity into our lives. Despite the challenges we faced with my mother-in-law's taunts and the toxic atmosphere of my in-laws' house, I can finally say that I can breathe again. We've made a firm decision to boycott Karen, cutting off all contact and interactions with her. It's a step towards reclaiming our peace and happiness. Our focus now is on nurturing our little family and creating a loving environment for Hope to thrive. I want to express my gratitude to all the Redditors who took the time to listen and offer support throughout this roller coaster journey. Your words of encouragement and shared experiences have meant the world to me. It's reassuring to know that we're not alone in facing challenging family dynamics and that there's a community out there that understands. NTA, no, dear, it's absolutely not your fault. And you seem like a very wholesome person, just judging by the way you spoke. Everything will work out from now. You've your husband's support as well. Do not worry. Peace. NTA, your mother-in-law is just awful, a terrible person who really needed this as this is her karma. I love how your husband supported you throughout the entire journey. Makes my heart melt. And Hope, such a beautiful name for your beautiful baby. Congratulations on becoming parents, and congratulations on finally being able to breathe again. Next story. Hi everyone. I'd like some judgment on this because I've been getting some serious backlash from my friends, but personally don't really see the issue. Last week I was invited to brunch with some of my closer friends. We meet up quite regularly, so this wasn't anything special or uncommon. Now, I'm going to be honest, I used to be someone who was chronically late to everything, like 20 to 30 minutes. I just couldn't seem to manage my life enough to be on time. However, I've seriously taken the time to change. Life planners, reminders, and overall more awareness of time and stuff have helped me a lot. In the past 2, maybe, years, I've never been late to anything if there wasn't a genuine reason. Train getting delayed or something like that. Now, all my precautions have failed me last week and I found myself running late. Not terribly, so big, maybe 10 minutes behind schedule. I let the others know via text that I'll be late and then they can start order drinks already and don't have to wait for me. I thought everything was dealt with, hurried up, and got to the place maybe 15 minutes late in total. I was already ready to apologize and sit down at the table, but as soon as I sat down, everyone got up and left me there. They told me that if they weren't worth my time, I wasn't worth theirs, and they left the restaurant together. I later saw on Insta that they went out to eat together somewhere else. Now, I would have understood that if it was in my late era, but I thought that it was clear that I've changed and wasn't late just because I could. My friends are late sometimes too, so I don't see the reason on them being always on time. NTA, as a reformed late person who is basically almost never late now, I'm obviously sympathetic from the get-go, but holy shit, your friends are such a-holes. One thing I've noticed is that even though I've been good about being on time for literally like over 6 years, nobody notices. The narrative is always, oh, here for Lars, she's always late. Oh, wow, I can't believe you're on time. I've been on time for years, but it's hard to get narratives like that to go away because people simply don't notice. I don't know what to tell you. If this happened to me, I'd text them some version of your post and don't speak to them again. This is some mean girls bullying shit and I wouldn't put up with it. But that's me. NTA, you told them you were running late and not to wait for you to order. I think it's rude of them to all get up and leave like that. YTA, apparently you've been late enough times that they've had enough. I'm also left wondering what you've left out of your story that merits such a strong response. Did they say anything to you all those other times you were late? I'm someone who is never late. I always give plenty of time to reach my destination. It's called respect for other people's time. They don't have to give it to you. Next story. I, male 15, am very skinny, 5'5", 110 to 115 pounds. This began to spiral when my mom, early 40s, overweight, decided to lose weight when I was around 13. This has been amazing for her and an awesome choice, but the way she carries it out is unfitting for the rest of the family. To lose weight, she decided to go on a strictly gluten-free diet. Now, this is fine on its own, but the problems arise whenever my dad or her cooks and we're forced to use gluten-free or cook without it. Me being skinny and gluten-free alternatives generally being gross, limited, repetitive, makes supporting this method very hard. When I entered high school, I became very conscious about my weight. As you can imagine, my thoughts became that the low-calorie foods we've been almost made to eat for dinner are a factor in my low weight. Due to this, on multiple occasions, arguments have started between me and her over this topic. More recently, we got into a fight. She was going to make the same bland, low-calorie, gluten-free pasta that we must have at least twice a week at this point in time. When I was told she was making this for dinner again, I finally decided to talk to her about it. The conversation went something like this. Me: "Hey, I really want to talk to you about dinner tonight, Mom." "Okay, what do we need to talk about?" Me: "I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but your dinners are not working for me. I need high-calorie foods like bread, etc." Mom: "Then make them yourself. I'm not going to make two separate dinners, especially for someone who's ungrateful for cooking." Me: "Okay, can we please go to the store so I can grab some stuff to make it?" We barely have anything non-gluten-free or high-cal like potatoes. Mom: "I'm not going to take someone to the store who is rude to me." Me: "Why? I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to you. I'm sorry if I was." Mom: "Doesn't matter if you meant to. You were still rude to me. The answer is still no." After this, I came back 30 minutes later. Me: "Hey, I'm sorry about earlier. Can we please go to the store so I can make dinner for myself?" Her: "No! You don't get to come out here and pretend like you were not rude to me and then ask me to drive you somewhere." After this, I knew it was going nowhere, so I went into the kitchen and made myself a simple bowl with like half a packet of tofu and some onions. I feel like I'm not an a-hole, but I can't shake the feeling that I might be, so Reddit, AITA? NTA, your mom is underfeeding you and she is in denial and being really weird about how she polices your tone when you are literally asking for food. Teenagers need lots of calories, and a no-gluten, low-carb diet is inappropriate for a kid like you. This problem needs to be brought to the attention of other adults in your extended family or at your school. You need calories so that you can reach your full adult size and weight. NTA, you and your mom have different caloric needs and you need more food. And carbs are a good source of energy. You stating your needs, asking to go to the store, was not rude at all. Gluten-free isn't a weight loss diet though, so it's odd that she's doing it. Gluten-free pasta, bread, etc. are often more calorie dense than their wheat originals. Is she doing paleo, which is gluten-free but also excludes other grains? At any rate, you need more food, and you should be getting it. It would be so easy to add a side of potatoes to a meal, and she doesn't have to eat them. NTA, seems like your dad is the target here. Set up a reoccurring online delivery order with him paying that includes what you need to get some calories in. Buy things that are non-perishable and or get a mini fridge with a lock for your room. Keep your high-calorie, perishable foods in there like eggs and cheese and meat. Gluten-free is not the issue. Boring and low-cal is the issue here. Kind of sad a 15-year-old needs to set up a meal plan But here you are. Get vegetables and keep them in the main fridge since it doesn't seem like she'll fight you for cabbage. And buy spices from Penzies or something. While your dad is the best resource for you right now, he's choosing to put up with her BS. That is damaging your body. I think you need to talk to a school counselor or maybe some member of your extended family who has the ability to stand up for you to your mom and dad. This is not sustainable. Teenage boys are usually on the hollow leg diet, lol. Hope you get help because you desperately need it. Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.